starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And gives you exactly what you asked for. Tonight, we're diving deep into legacy, healing, and generational wisdom with a powerful circle of women who have not only lived it, they've written it. These remarkable co authors have come together to plant truth, testimony, and transformation in the pages of sacred seeds of wisdom. Tonight, we have Travita Harris. She's the CEO of Wings of Transportation Transformation, Publishing LLC. We have Deborah Ivy. She is the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner. How about that? Cynthia Spencer. She is a motivational speaker and founder of Better Tomorrow Counseling LLC. Michelin Morse. She's a best-selling international author and poet. We have Bobby Stretchin. She's an award-winning author and the Distinguished Authors Guild Ambassador. And we also have award winning author and the Distinguished Authors Guild Ambassador and champion for people with disabilities, Baron McLemore. But at the helm of this powerful project is the brilliant Dr. Carolyn Stevens, visionary author and spiritual therapist. She's gathered these women and gave them space to release, reflect, and rise with deeply moving collections that honors the voices. Get ready because tonight we're talking sacred stories, generational hearing, and the wisdom that gets passed from woman to woman, generation to generation. Let's welcome the women of Sacred Seeds of Wisdom to Basic Blaque After Dark.
Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh
so
man, thank
honored
you
to be
all.
here.
Thank you all. Before I even get started, I'm going to say thank you for putting what you put into this book. So I'm gonna get that out of the way real quick. Thank you again for putting what you put into this book. And speaking of that, the origin of this book, what inspired you to contribute to Sacred Seeds of Wisdom? Ladies?
Hi, I can go. I can go first. Well, it was an honor first to work with these ladies. And when Dr. Stevens asked for me to give some wisdom to another African American woman, then the honors and wanting someone to do much better also as well. And I thought that I could offer something to help someone with ideas.
Cynthia, you sound a little fuzzy, or somebody does. If when someone's talking, because everybody mute, because it might be somebody's transition. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but yes, I understand that Dr. Carolyn just scooped you all up, and you said yes to a wonderful book, and I appreciate it. I don't know about her, but I know I appreciate it. So, some of the rest of you, what inspired you to contribute to Sacred Seeds of Wisdom?
So for me, first, again, thank you so much for having us. It's always an honor to be here. And to the beautiful ladies of Sacred Seeds of Wisdom. Just like Cynthia mentioned, Dr. Stevens had asked me to be a part of such an amazing collaboration. And for me, I instantly thought of my daughter. I thought of my daughter.
Oh
For
wow.
many of she was born with a rare genetic condition. And for me, it was something that I knew that I could leave for her, that even after long, after I'm gone, it was something that I know she could pick up, and that it would be a reminder to her of who she is, and how to take her rest. So for me in the book, I left. women the insight to know your worth, because I think it's important for us, especially Black women, to know how worthy we are. I know there are some times where I didn't feel worthy, and sometimes doubt whispered louder than truth. But through my
Oh yeah.
reflection and resilience, I found the courage to turn pain into purpose. So,
Hmm.
as a Black woman, knowing your worth isn't always easy, but for me, it's essential.
No, it's not.
And so I know
Well,
that I
today's
needed to lead her by example. So I wanted to write to remind myself and other Black women that you are enough, and that you are powerful, and that you are worthy. So that's the biggest
I
reason
think
why.
that each and every one of you are so worthy of what you contributed to this book here. I'm curious though, how did the theme of sacred wisdom speak to your personal journey?
For me, can y'all hear me? This Travita. My camera's not working tonight.
Yep.
I don't know why,
That's
but it just decided
it's
not to
okay.
work. But for me, it was a part of wanting to leave everything that I've been through for somebody else to have a blueprint that you don't have to
Mm,
stay in the turmoil that you may be experiencing, because someone else needs to know that it's going to get easier and it's going to look good on the other side. You just have to keep walking through the storm. And a lot of times when we're in the storms, we don't know that there's a way out, that the sun is going to shine, because all we're surrounded by is just darkness. But if you keep walking and keep going forward and trusting in God to take you through your journey, you're going to come out on the other side, and you're going to know that God was walking with you the whole time, and he didn't put you in a space to not overcome. He put you in a space to where you were able to understand all that he's put inside of you. So I wanted it to be where people could see the journey of what I was going through and how I made it through to the other side.
I love that you mentioned the blueprint because that speaks volumes. What legacy do you hope that you from your chapter plant in the lives of others?
What legacy I hope to leave, just not just myself, but my children, my grandchildren, and anybody who reads my chapter. I want them to understand that it gets better. Your dark days are only temporary. You have the strength to get through it if you continue to trust in God, because he created you for a purpose. And I want people to understand that the legacy is you. You are the icon. You are the legend. You have something
Mm.
that God placed in front of you, inside of you, to give you what you need to be that own person that you look up to. Because I am the person that I've learned to look up to because of the things that I've been able to overcome. And I've trusted God to bring me through to where I am today. And
And
that
that's
that's a
that's to be
great
commended.
legacy.
It is. It is. It's a great legacy to leave to not just your own children, to anyone else that's dealing with whatever situations that they're dealing with.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
every time, was it difficult to share your truth on paper? Better yet, what surprised you most during the writing process? Someone? What surprised any of you ladies?
Um, for me,
Did you think that just writing? Mhm.
for me, I thought it was going to be, uh, you just take what you think and you just write it down. But the words come alive. Is what was surprising to me is that once it left my mind, went through the pen to the paper, then it was like I was outside of it and I could see it from a different perspective, even though it's coming out of my head. So writing um, is more than just sitting down and taking a thought and putting it on paper. it became alive. Even the story that's being written, where I perceived it one way in thought, it
Yeah.
took another perspective.
The writing bug.
Hmm.
It becomes where some people just take it and just put it in the back of the drawer, and it sits there for years. But
I would like to speak to that question if I can. No?
yes.
Okay, so I thought that it was very therapeutic for me because it was very intentional. I really wanted to tell my truth. So, because I was very intentional, I wanted to tell people everything that I had gone through. You know, especially I had read a study a while ago from John Hopkins, and it was talking about how African Americans, women, we're at the bottom of everything. And then, we just, we it makes us work harder for things. We have to work harder. And in the midst of me working so hard to accomplish certain things, I really didn't get a chance to know my authentic self. So this is why I wanted to write in there the things that held me back from being authentic, because knowing that we're at the bottom and we're just always racing, trying to get something, trying to accomplish something when we knowing that we're at the bottom, in hopes of all of us finding our authentic self so we could be better sisters to each other.
So a part of that authentic self is also legacy and lineage. What sacred wisdom was passed down to you from a mother, elder, guides you today?
The legacy that
I'm not
was
asking anybody to tell them little secrets. I'm not asking you to do that.
the legacy that was passed down to me from my mother is the importance of voice. It's the importance of from the point of where
Yeah.
Trevidia was just speaking, was that God made us. And so we don't have to just depend on ourselves. And so to understand that takes away a lot of anxiety and stress and a demand
Hmm.
to be a part of the competition or the comparison. So it was important that this legacy
Oh
my
yeah.
mother in my story left me was God gave you voice. You're not a victim. You're going to go through some trauma and some drama. But her legacy was
Hmm.
trauma and drama is life. That's not you. It doesn't define you. Keep your voice and use it.
I think for me, it's like
What unspoken truth did you break by sharing? Hmm. Go ahead.
I think for me, one thing that was broken is that sometimes you may not grow up the way that everyone else grow up, but it's like you don't
Mm.
have to stay stuck in that environment, that you can rise above that and be who you're, supposed to be. And you never let somebody hold you down or tell you that you can't do something. You can do whatever you want to do when you put your mind to it.
You need to speak that to the next generation that's coming up because they all idolize all these celebrities and want to be just like them. And not to say that you can't sing, but there's only one of that person, and you have to be your authentic self. There's only one, or there was only one Michael Jackson. They're doing the things and grabbing the audience maybe the way she did, but there's still going to only be one Whitney Houston. And with you saying what you're just saying, Deborah, it holds so much truth to that. You're going to be who you're going to be. So, what unspoken truths did you break by sharing your story?
Mm.
I think you can break the truth by not letting society put you in a box, because a lot of times we're perceived as difficult, have attitudes. So by writing the book and
Mm,
speaking that, you are limitless and that it's a lot of opportunities that you can take a part of, and that you don't have to, let somebody say, oh, you can't do this, or you can't, let somebody say, well, you're never going to amount to anything, because you have to believe in yourself. You have to have faith in
right.
yourself that you can do whatever anybody else does, and you can do it even better.
The other unspoken truth for this particular project,
So how
it
has your
is
faith evolved through the
it basically is the fact that it dispels the lie that Black women don't know how to work together. We can get along and we can support and encourage and uplift each other to do great things. We're not in competition with each other. We grow and we become better because of the sisters that we have surrounding us. And I think that's one of the truths that this book holds truth to, that we can collaborate and work together and be great, not only as individuals, but as a collective.
That's true. So true.
one of you said earlier that we are on the bottom, and I want you to think about this when you hear it from me. Some people think of it as being negative. Look at it as a totem pole, with us being on the bottom. What is it about that totem pole with us on the bottom that you recognize?
So sometimes, I work um, I work in corporate America, and sometimes the perception that others have or perceive, sometimes they'll select someone else other than African American woman because of the way society has made African, has set the perception for African American. So that's what I mean by, the bottom. And sometimes it's easy. I don't know if it's my phone. Sorry. Sometimes it's easy. Can you hear me?
What I'm looking at and
I
looking,
can't
yeah, I
hear.
could. It's a lot of static and wherever you're at. It's a lot of static that comes through whenever you're speaking. But I want to go back to the totem pole. You have African Americans, you have all sorts of cultures, and you have men and women on there. And as African American women, we're still on the bottom. What is it that you recognize about that totem pole with
I
us being
can't
on the bottom?
hear.
I'm sorry, who can't hear? Whoever that is, you may need to go out and then come back in, because I can hear just about everybody here. What I'm getting at is with the totem pole is that if you realize that they place us on the bottom, but we are the
Hmm.
ones that's holding everybody up.
Yes.
So we're the strong ones, and they can't quite get it about us.
Right.
They
I
may
can't
look at us in
hear.
certain ways and say things because they want to knock us down, but we are the ones that's holding them up. I'm so sorry. Somebody's saying that they cannot hear. Cynthia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear nothing.
Bobby,
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear. I think that
Sharita,
feedback is coming from Michelin's side.
Say that
Deborah,
again, because I can't hear anything.
Deborah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I still can't hear.
That's Michelin. Michelin, can you? Okay. Farron, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Deborah, you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure that everyone can hear. We also just spoke about faith. How has your faith evolved around or evolved through the seasons of your life?
My faith has carried me through every dark season of my life. Reading back in the Bible, when you see some of the other people like Joshua, we'll just use him when God told him to be strong and courageous. Just holding on to that faith that God is always going to be there with us to go through anything. That is what has sustained my faith and not caused me to stop, give up, stop moving. It has caused my resilience to, you may get knocked down, but get right back up. It's due to faith. If God has done it for others and everyone who has mentioned it in his book, that's what gives me faith to keep going.
So, has anyone's spiritual practice grounded them in times of uncertainty?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In what way?
It's pivotal to me to hear the scenario with the totem pole that you just spoke about, how the black woman, is at the bottom of it, but that's the foundation and strength and all. In the part of the book that I wrote about overcoming faith, is my spiritual faith increased, and it changed me so that I can understand when even the statement that we're placed on the bottom, that I can understand that even that is a lie, because there's a certain point that faith taught me you have to agree first of all that a thing is true in order to start dealing with it. Sometimes there are things we don't deal with because we don't want to face them as a truth. And so my faith has
Yeah.
transitioned me from that place where I'm always fighting to achieve my authenticity to understanding that's nothing to fight for. It's mine from the beginning. And so this project and all of the
Yes.
writers, when I've read their chapters, I mean it's a book that even though I am an author, co-author in the book, I'm benefiting from the collaborative stories of each author that's here tonight because I get to read their stories. It's amazing that collaborative that adds to me without me buying another book. Just me having a copy of the sacred seas. You see, I'm receiving this
So it's
because there
as
are things
if
that
you
just
have more than one book.
it's
It's almost as if you got more than one book inside of a book.
it's a library.
Wow.
It's a library.
Wow, I love that. I love that.
I agree with that
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
I do too.
Wow. That's just that. Now I'm not one that's get tongue tied, but here I am tongue
It is
tied.
the book
But
of
how do you
overflow because
define
everybody's cup
divine
is
wisdom?
able to be filled.
Yes. So that I get from each one of
Wow.
these authors, I am empowered beyond myself. I'm able to take their overcoming seed and plant it into my families, my friends, my community, because it doesn't have to just be my story of overcoming. I've got each one of you. And so, hey, that's why the book is going to sell. That's why it's necessary. It's a it's a library that not only it's not selfish. It's not just focused on one area of difficulty, struggle, or weakness or something like that. It's expansive. It's inclusive at the same time. People have to buy this book. It's an investment.
Yeah. It's an investment with not just us. Uh, it's plant seeds for the next generation. What do you want young women to know about healing, power, and purpose?
I couldn't hear before. I had to go out and come back in. But I'll answer that. My chapter
Yeah,
is about
thank you.
the prodigal daughter, of how I left home and went and did my own thing. And I have three granddaughters, and I didn't start writing until I was like 50 plus years old. So I finally discovered what my purpose was, and I wanted to, let them know that it doesn't matter how old you are or, what's going on in your life. You still have we all have a plan and purpose. And as they say, God knew us before we were formed inside our mother's womb. So I just want people to know, and especially them, of all the hardships that I went through. And my chapter is about me leaving them with the inner strength to face adversities. So if you just know who you are and what you're supposed to do, and you listen, because we sometimes avoid, what is told to us to do. We want to take another path, but some kind of way, you get to that crossroad, and then you come back and you do what you're supposed to do. So I just want them to have strength. I want them to know that they are special. I want them to know that they were beautifully and wonderfully made, and that whatever they're supposed to do is going to happen because that's God's will.
Goodness.
Thank you. I
You
couldn't
ladies
hear before. I could hear. I had
planted so
static.
many different seeds within each ladies have planted so many different seeds in each and every one of your chapters. What seed do you believe each woman must plant for herself?
I would like to speak on that one. I would say, be honest with themselves. And I would like to piggyback on the last question that you just asked, if you don't mind, healing. I think once we learn how to properly heal, we will have to heal something for the rest of our lives. It's not just a one-time fix, because we don't know what we're going to go through or come against or come up against in life. But we have to get used to healing our soul, resting our soul, because it's just not like a quick fix and then you fix. This is one book, and I think Dr. Stevens is talking
Right.
about another book. It's constant healing. I may have healed from one situation that I don't even know what's ready to come around the corner for next week. But learning how to heal, be honest, and get the correct healing, because we all have power, we all have purpose, but the healing can stop, thwart, or hinder any all the power and the purpose that's needed.
So, how do you intentionally nurture your own growth today? Because it seems as though this really empowered not one of you, all of you. How would you intentionally nurture your own growth today since you've written this book?
I would say self love, self care, knowing who you are, healing, as Cynthia just said, knowing when you need to take a break, because sometimes it's like we have the battery in our back. And as women and black women, and I heard someone say that like we're the lowest on the totem pole. So it's like you got to know who you are. You got to step back. It's okay to say no. It's okay to explore new things, and know that like your purpose may not just be this one thing, that God has poured uh, different elements in you so that you can learn, grow, teach someone else. But I know mainly for me, it's resting, knowing when to rest. And at one point, I didn't love myself, and I had a low self esteem. So now it's like, I talk life into me because I was in survival mode for so long, and I want to live. I want to love. I want to be happy. So I just, like I said, it's just the self uh, worth that I need to, tell myself I have, and just take a rest when I need to.
That right there, all of that that's said right there. It took courage and vulnerability to write this book. What fear did you have to overcome to be a part of this book?
Um,
I think for me, the fear was,
Transparency.
we had some
Just putting
powerhouses
your
on
life
this.
on the pages. And I think Travita said something about if she could help someone else. So, like, if I can just touch one
Deborah, you were
person,
saying?
then I feel like my job is done, because that saying that goes, a wise person learns from other people's mistakes and a fool learns from his own. So if I know me growing up, somebody said, "Hey, don't go over there, you're gonna fall off the bridge." I believe them, but it's not always like that. But if I could just like speak life into one person, then I know I did my job, and that made me get over the fear.
Anybody else want to
Sure, I would
share?
like to share. Because fear has gripped my life for so long, this is actually therapeutic for me. And I was just so happy to be able to not experience fear. And how I did that was kept my mind off of myself, made sure my thoughts were in the right place, and thought about the person that would buy this book and who this book would help. So it was actually therapeutic for me. So I had no fear in writing this chapter in this book.
So, has vulnerability become a source of strength in your life to anyone?
Yes, it has. Um, being transparent is being vulnerable. To actually be truthful and expose yourself is it's life changing, because you don't how is it going to be perceived and received. But the vulnerability for me now is once I can tell the whole story, it's worth it. That's why in my chapter I write about overcoming faith. It's not that the vulnerability was a weakness until I told the whole story. It's one particular
Right.
place is where I can say that I've been raped. That's vulnerable. I mean, that's not something I'm looking forward to telling people, but I have been. But it became a strength because it gave me the platform to tell the rest of the story. Yes, I was. And yes, through God's grace, through his counseling, through his providing me with a community of people who know that rape is not an everlasting painful drama. Just like we were saying earlier, it may have been something that I had to deal with, but not for the rest of my life. So now that vulnerability to speak on rape without wondering how it's going to be perceived, how somebody going to look at me later, or anything like that. Now it's my strength that yeah, drama happens, life happens, but there's an overcoming faith that says that is not the rest of your life. Neither is that all of who you are. That's not all of who we are. Is the drama and the pain and the society abuse or injustice. That's not all our lives, and a lot of it is a lie. And that's vulnerable for me to say that with you women here, because that's a strong statement to say a lot of what has been spoken against us and set up against us. First of all, it's a lie. We have to help it be true so we can fight it. But by the grace of God, we
I
are
can't think of
overcomers.
any woman. I can't think of any woman or male that can say that they weren't at some point in their life vulnerable.
Hmm.
I couldn't buy into that by anybody telling me that they never to pick Dr. Stevens' brain of what was it like to pull a collection and a collective of women telling not just a story but a sacred story. So I'm going to put it to you ladies. What was it like to be part of a collective of women telling not just a story but a sacred story?
One word: empowering for me.
Anybody else one word?
Unity, unity. It was just great to see the ladies come together being vulnerable because, everything is associated with shame when we go through difficult issues. So just everyone coming and being free of their shame, coming together as a unit, it basically just bonded us together. And whatever, when we're free, we're able to free others. So.
I would also
camaraderie
say
for me.
a blessing
Yeah,
because
it's like a
it's
sisterhood.
like you tell the truth, shame the devil.
Yeah.
So it was just a blessing to just get that off
Wow.
your chest.
Ooh, I like that, Micheline. Love it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Love it.
Nice.
So
It
shame
was
is
Yeah.
it was
crazy.
Nice.
humbling for me.
Nice. I love the way you're gonna have to. I'm glad this is being recorded. I'm so glad that this is being recorded because I'm gonna steal it. I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna steal it. So don't be too surprised if you hear it again and say, "Wait a minute, I said that." I'm telling you now, I'm gonna steal it.
Oh, it's
I
fine.
believe somebody else was chiming in with their
I'll
word.
talk about too.
Camaraderie, camaraderie for me. I mean, because I never met
Camaraderie.
any of these
Okay.
ladies prior to the book project. And
Mhm.
I just felt like, we could always, be friends, after this.
Yeah. For me, it was humbling because, like a lot of the ladies mentioned, we don't know each other, but we were able to come together and join voices, and we planted our seeds of truth and healing and transformation. Transformation. So for me, it was about pouring our heart into something that can uplift someone else's journey. So it was amazing just to feel seen and heard, and the wisdom will be passed on like a torch for me.
Hmm.
Wow. So you guys are dropping these little nuggets that again I'm gonna be taking all of this in. So do you believe that community and sisterhood impact the way wisdom is passed on?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most
In what
definitely.
way? In what way?
I think if you share your truth, it makes someone else feel like they're not alone. They're not alone. So just getting that wisdom, back in the day when my mother was born in 34, they didn't really talk about these things. Now we're able to share our truth, put it in a book. And that wisdom, I think, will just carry on from generation to generation. We're not longer quiet. We're no longer quiet. We're speaking our truth. And we're showing that we're resilient. We're showing that we're not giving up. We're showing that we can come with other women and just be there to support each other and lift each other up. So I just really think it's just wonderful. When I was 7, 8, I wish I did have a book to read about something everyone was going through instead of at 7 being in my own young mind, thinking of my own wrong thoughts, which made me not feel valuable enough at a certain age. And now someone else gets this wisdom, young girls, other women, we're not silent anymore. So I think it's going to
That's
be
what
helpful.
that's
So
what I
to
love most
reflect
about the
on
project.
anything.
Oh, sorry.
No, go right ahead.
What I
What
love
you love
most
most
about the
about the
project
project?
is because it is women from different walks of life. We're all from different generations, and we came together
Hmm.
for one mission, and that was to uplift, empower, and sow those seeds of truth into the world. So someone who, we have, like I said, we have all the different ages. So the power from the experience is what I love about this collaboration.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about, Farron, but I'm 25. I'm gonna be 25 for the next 25 years. So I'm gonna keep that until my kids start surpassing me in age. I'm gonna tell them I'm your cousin. So
Right.
that's
You
where we're gonna
sound
be
like
at for a
my
little
mom,
while.
because that's how my mom was. She would always say, like, I turned 45 before she passed. And she would always tell me she was 35. I said, well, mom, how is that possible? If you're 35 and I'm 45, somebody's math is off. And she's like, yeah, yours is off because mine is right. I'm 35.
That's right. That's right. She's absolutely right because we get a chance to do it over in our way. So she was 35. Just acknowledge that you were a little older than her.
I just let her have it.
What has been the most surprising reaction?
I'm sorry, we didn't hear the question, or I didn't. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
I think it's frozen.
I don't know how old everybody is on here, but I'm gonna grow up to be just like you and you and you, and then I'm gonna grow up to be like you. I'm gonna grow up to be like you. I'm gonna grow up and be just like y'all, courageous and pretty.
Oh, thank you. Is she back? We didn't hear the last question.
I think it's still frozen.
Is still frozen? Okay.
Yes, I think it's still frozen. But as a collective, it's been an honor to be a part of this book with each and every one of you ladies, simply because we've all taken something and learned something about ourselves while reading each one of our chapters. And being in a space where I was a little girl who was constantly told I would never be in a space with women like you guys. And we often talk about getting to the table. I look at it like this: you can knock on the door and make a lot of noise, but you can't change the room, the atmosphere in the room until you're inside. And so once you're inside, you have the power to shift everything that's happening inside the room. You can make a lot of noise on the outside of the door, banging to get in. But once you're in the room, it's what you do that changes the atmosphere. And so being in this space to where I've been able to be in rooms that change the atmosphere and change the way people look at Black women as a collective, because sometimes we are the only ones that look like us in these spaces. And when you can change the way people look at us as a collective, it's a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be looked upon as, oh well, her tone is too harsh, or you know the way she is just straight face is intimidating. We don't always smile every time we're in a space, and that's intimidating to some people. And I've learned that I have to fix my face. My face hasn't learned to use her inside voice. She has a mind of her own. And so I've constantly been told, you need to fix your face. My son would tell me all the time. He's like, Mom, you didn't need a public speaking class. You got speaking under control. You need a facial expression class, because that face is what's going to make people think that you're unapproachable. And I'm learning to work on that, but my face has her own personality. She's loud sometimes, even when she's not trying to be loud. But it's been an honor to be part of this project, and I'm just grateful that whoever decides to purchase this book, they are getting a gift in so many ways, in so many avenues. And every time I read a different chapter since I've gotten the book in hand, I'm just in awe. I've even looked at my own chapter and I'm like, girl, you let it go, didn't you? There's something, that somebody is definitely going to see, that the journey is the beautiful process. And you have to go through life and understand that even in those darkest moments, those uncertainties, God is walking with you. He's walking you through each and everything that you're going through. Even when it looks like, God, why did you bring me to this? If He brought you to it, He's going to bring you through it. He's not going to place you in a space to where He's not going to see you through it. It's up to us to understand that He's given us everything that we've needed to get through. And when we realize that we were created for this, we are walking in the purpose of who He's created us to be. We are going to be continuously awesome in everything that we set our minds to, each and every person that we're connected to, even every person that we meet along this journey. We were supposed to meet. We were supposed to be part of this book because God had already designed it when He created us. It was His timing, His selection, His everything that was part of this whole project. We knew that there was something bigger that was coming in our season. in 2025. We had no idea exactly what God had planned, but God knew what He had planned for us. He collectively selected each one of us, and He put Miss Carolyn, Dr. Carolyn, in charge of putting us all together. And this book is a blessing. It's not only a seed, it is a blossoming garden for those who take it and read it.
Absolutely.
Awesome word, Travita. You're absolutely right. We are making it to the tables now. Um, this is where I wrote my chapter and was very intentional about getting a seat at the table because I think I started off, and you all probably didn't hear when I was talking about I had read that article about us being at the bottom and that we work to get to the top. But for me, I worked, got to the top, and we know that God has plans and purposes for us, right? The doors are going to be open, but when they're open and you really don't know your true value, you've just been working just to obtain something, and you really don't know your true value. When you get to that table, that's when you could possibly be depressed, just be uneasy, not just be whole. So I had to go back, even though I was at the table, and get the real work done. Go back to work on the trauma, go back to talk about the things that my mother did not talk about. I really had to go back and find out who was Cynthia at the table because I showed up with a smile. I showed up as myself, but I did not know who I was. Now, when I show up, I come as God's child with the name Cynthia Carter Spencer that
Yeah.
won't be stopped. And the other ladies at the top, I don't have to look at them and be, I mean, the other ladies at the bottom, I can hold my hand down and pull them up. I don't have to be jealous of them. I think sometimes at the bottom, when I mention us being lowest at the bottom, it's because I feel like some of us need to go back and find our authentic self because we start fighting each other, not helping each other, not sharing open resources for others because we want to get there first. Sometimes it may be your job to put down your goals to help someone else with their goals. But if we don't know ourselves, we're just fighting for fame, trying to get money. But when you know who you are and when you know your value, it is priceless. And when you get to the table, you just gonna get to bigger tables. And sometimes you may be the head of the table. This is why I wrote my chapter because I wanted to be intentional. And sometimes we see in Black women that they're just not getting along the way that we should get along. We should love each other. We should be helping each other. We should be encouraging each other. If you got $1 million in your bank account and I only have two, I should still be happy for you because if you eat, I'm going to eat. And we all have to go back and find our authentic self. There is work for us still to be done if they're able to write articles to saying we're at the bottom when we serve a God that wants to put us at the top, but we'll lose out at the top, but we don't really know who we are. Thank you.
Ooh, Miss
Ooh.
Spencer. Miss
Huh?
Spencer. Miss Spencer.
Yes,
I'm gonna
ma'am.
tell you, I can't help it. You keep sending sparks over here in Cordele, Georgia.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
when you talk about God. I'm gonna say this again, y'all. This is a transparent thing. When we get to that place where somebody said we were on the bottom, ooh, Miss Spencer, give you two snaps up.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I went when you said go right to the bottom. That's when I find out there isn't a bottom because that's not
Right,
anything God designed. That He
right,
doesn't have a respect of person, or
right,
respect of race, or respect of gender.
yeah,
God does not have that. And so,
yeah,
what, like you said, getting in the room, but still having that lie
yeah,
because society said it. They established it. That some kind of way I got to get in the room. That's why when we come with this collaborative, we still got to stay at that place you just said, Miss Spencer. That
yes,
yes, I am not. I have never been at the bottom. I
that's
assumed it
right,
because of racism. I
that's right,
assumed it because of social status. I assumed it because the world taught me that.
yeah,
And when I went to that bottom, like you saying, And now I'm here with you ladies. I found out that there isn't anybody on the bottom. So when you
That's
said
right.
reach down to get them, go down there and tell them, girl, you ain't at the bottom.
That's
You
right.
are nobody. Here
That's
comes
right.
that power. So
That's
when
right.
I walk in the room with my 75 cent, some banana sausages, and a bag of Cheetos, I'm feeling biggity.
That's
I'm
right.
feeling biggity. Not
That's right.
comparison, because my Viennas is all of that. Noom, noom, noom,
That's
noom,
right.
noom. My Cheetos are fire.
That's right.
Yeah. We
That's right.
we value because we realize that all of what was ever said is a lie. We
Yeah.
can't own up to God making us wonderfully, fearfully made, and at the same time acknowledging that somebody else says that we're staggered. Ain't no
Yes.
truth in that. Lady
Yes.
Spencer, can I give you two more?
Give me some more.
Give me. Let me
Yes.
give you two more.
Yes.
Let me get Deborah one.
Yes.
Farron, I'm following your
Everybody.
footsteps.
All of us deserve it.
Micheline, Travita, I'm trying to tell you,
That's right.
Dr. Carolyn, wherever you at, you the bomb, girl.
That's right.
I just want to say it was definitely an honor and a pleasure to be in the book with you beautiful ladies and just reading the chapters. It's like you can relate to
Mm.
something. If it's not the whole thing, you can pick apart and apply that to your life or just say, this is
Yes.
something that I can overcome and don't do that, and just stay on that path. But you're all beautiful. I hope to meet you all one day. We got to figure out how we could do that. But I'm just saying thank you, and definitely to Dr. Carolyn.
When I meet you all, I hope I have my copy of Sacred Seed in my hand so y'all can sign y'all chapter for me. That's
Yes.
I hope I have the common sense to calm down and do that because I may be too excited meeting superstars. You know what I'm saying? I may be like
Yes.
starstruck. I'll be like, oh
Yes.
my God, that's Farron for real. Are you kidding me right now? Oh my God, that's Travita in person. I'm gonna try to be cool though, and I want you all to autograph your chapters in my book.
Well,
My
when we do meet in person, y'all are gonna have to look down for me because I'm the shortest one in the group.
oh my goodness.
So I am only 4'8", so you're definitely going to have to look down for me. I won't be in the amongst the tall folks. I'm gonna be over with the children because they tend to think
Oh
I
wow.
fit in with them. So
I'm not
that is where I will be.
I'm not too far from you, Trevita. I'm only 5'4", so
who's 5'4"?
Oh well, see, you still taller than me, baby. I'm right there with
hey,
the
listen.
7-year-olds.
When we did the
Oh,
virtual book fair, and I realized how we only seen each other so many times just through video. So
Mhm.
when I seen everybody in person, I'm literally the shortest in the room because I did not know Gina was tall. I did not know Cynthia was tall. If you see these pictures, I'm literally the shortest person. So now you get to be the shortest person.
Right.
Yes, and I'm always in the front because if I get in the back to take any pictures, I get lost. My kids are always like, "Mom, let me hold your hand because we're going in a crowded place." And I'm like, "But I'm your mom. You don't have to hold my hand." And they're like, "No, we have to hold your hand." And they're like, "We're just going to get a balloon to tie it on you when you get lost in the store because we can't find you because you blend into the racks and things." So, yeah, I am that short. So,
I am so glad that I had a chance to collaborate with you all. When I read all of you all's bios and I said, oh, these are some boss babes. You all are so humble when we come together. It does not get any better than that. So I am honored to be in the book with you all and my name just to be able to be amongst you all's bios from such humble women who's gone through so much and so resilient and won't stop and willing to tell the story for the next man. It just humbles me down. So I thank you all. It is such a pleasure, and I cannot wait to meet you all. And you won't miss me because I am 6 feet. So I will not get lost in the crowd.
Well, it's been an honor for me to meet you all. I mean, to, kind of like collaborate with you all.
So
And you all are some
I guess
powerhouses. And
he's still
and I'm
frozen.
5'2". I'm 5'2",
Okay,
so
okay.
I'm short too. But yeah, it's been an honor, and I've learned so much from you all, and your chapters are
Oh,
awesome. So thank you, thank you.
well,
Well, I've been chatting or trying to chat with Blaque Diamond and sending her texts to let her know we miss her and we're looking for her. So she may have had some technical difficulty, but I hadn't gotten a response back from her yet. Um, Queen Angela, I think, is our host, and I'm texting her too to let her know. I know we're almost out of time.
Well, we want to give just, I guess, Dr. Stevens, just big shout out again for bringing us together. Because if it was not for her, she's just so innovative. And not just that, she's always willing to just be there to support us one on one. Talk about a superwoman. I know that
absolutely.
she loves God, and I know God has given her all the power, but how does she does it? I mean, she's talking to all of these women, making sure we're right, setting up flyers for us, having us sing that. So kudos to you, Dr. Stevens, again.
Yes, kudos
I'm
to you,
sure I
Dr.
can speak
Stevens.
on behalf of all of us. And
Yes.
hopefully we'll get to collab. So buy the book, who's ever listening to this, all these wonderful ladies with such open vulnerability, good chapters, wisdom that will help everyone. Buy the book.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
But
yes.
buy two books. Share it with a coworker, a
Yeah,
friend, a family member.
Yes,
definitely a
I
book
do.
for you and a friend or a
Yes.
family.
Because you're not gonna want to give them your copy. I'm just gonna
Right.
say that.
Not
Now,
gonna want to
Because
share.
You could
you know
always
you
go
Right.
back
can't
and
borrow
refer to
mine.
something.
You can have your own. So go on and
Right.
and then we have the Arthur's Guild coming up. Will everyone be there?
Mhm.
I will be there.
When is that?
Somebody put
November
in the
7th.
November
chat.
the 7th.
November 7th is
Oh,
when
okay,
the
yes. I
Yes.
that.
Yes.
all
Somebody
right.
put more information. November 7th. Where is it at? What time?
In
Theater
Chicago.
47.
Okay.
Theater 47 in Park Forest, Illinois.
Okay. Get your ticket too. You'll get a chance to meet all of us and get our
Yes.
autograph. So get your
Yeah.
ticket to that as
Get
well.
my
Yes.
pictures.
All right. The book is available on Amazon. Miss Angela asked me to close out for Blaque Diamond. We don't know what happened, but as a collective, I know she is grateful that we all took the time to be here, to be a part of Sacred Seeds of Wisdom to
Can
share.
you ladies hear me?
There she
Yes,
is. Yes, ma'am. There she is.
My
Yay.
God, I don't know. I have
Oh,
no idea. I was talking to you guys, and I can hear you, and I'm listening to y'all laughing and clapping, and I'm steady talking. I'm like, they don't hear me. Are they listening to what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you this question anyway. I don't care. My question was, if someone walks over, y'all look. I mean, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell Dr. Stevens on you guys. That
we ain't even do
got y'all
that.
quiet on that note. Yep, I'm gonna tell her on you. If someone walked away with only one lesson from your chapter, what do you hope it is?
Keep walking.
Be authentic.
Keep walking. It gets better.
Keep walking.
You are
Yeah.
Have
Keep
capable.
faith.
walking.
Have faith. It does get better, like you said.
So if
don't
you had
buy.
to name,
Yeah, don't buy everything you heard. You are an overcomer.
Yes,
Yeah.
Lord.
You are worthy. You are
yeah,
enough.
this
Believe in
this has
yourself.
been one powerful night of truth, tenderness, and transformation. To each of the women who shared their sacred seeds of wisdom, I want to thank you, incredible ladies, for being such honored guests tonight. Your voice is a gift. Your stories are medicine. I'm gonna tell you, your stories are medicine. If you haven't already picked up your copy of Sacred Seeds of Wisdom, I highly encourage you to do so. It's more than a book, it's a legacy of healing, strength, and truth passed down from woman to woman. You can reach out to any one of these women to purchase the book. They got them. They're waiting for you to contact them. They're going to sign them, and they'll get it right over to you. But don't go too far. We'll be back on a special night on August the 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Basic Blaque After Dark. We're sitting down with new author Eric Blake as he discusses his powerful book, My Thoughts First Steps to Healing. Trust me, you don't want to miss this raw and inspiring conversation about what it really takes to begin again. Until then, thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing space. And as always, thanks for keeping it basic. Thanks, ladies, for participating. I have no idea what went on tonight with the sound and the coming and goings of each and every one of you, and the piercing sounds like that. But this is just not something that normally happens. So I'm going to try to find out what can be done so it could be a smoother transition. I would love to have you ladies back. I'm quite sure you're going to be in book two when she does it. You seem to have be bonded with each other. So it's probably going to be a smooth sailing. You already know how she works and operates, and you've gotten to know each other. So I'm looking forward to